Bethany-sponsored missionaries Paul and Lucinda Bentley are currently serving with Pioneers, a mission established in 1979. Pioneers partnered with local churches to make disciples and initiate church planting movements among unreached people groups. Paul and Lucinda first went to Bolivia in January of 1984. The first 10 years of their ministry, they evangelized and planted churches in the rural areas surrounding Sucre. The number of evangelicals in that region at the time was a fraction of 1%. They also lived and taught at a small Quechua Bible Institute, training over 100 young people who then went out to plant more churches, often in very hard-to-reach places in the Andes Mountains. Along with teaching at the Quechua Bible Institute, Lucinda also taught children's clubs in neighborhoods and homeschooled their 3 kids. Together, the Bentleys helped establish a health clinic for low-income Quechua people in the neighborhood of the Sucre Farmers Market, the center for activity of the rural Quechua people in the province. In late 1993, they moved to Cochabamba. There, Paul led a ministry to establish a shortwave radio station to reach the 2.2 million monolingual Quechua people of Bolivia. In conjunction with the radio ministry, a Quechua literacy program was developed. Bible study and leadership training materials were translated, and hundreds were trained in their use. Local believers continued to hold training seminars on how to use these materials and lead inductive Bible studies. In Cochabamba, Lucinda did outreach to drug addicts on the street through evangelism and started a mobile feeding program out of their home. She then started helping with Bible teaching at the Emmanuel Foundation and outreach to the children of people of the red light district of the city. They share God's love and the gospel with them, provide educational support with homework, also nutritional support with meals, and protection when a need arises. Her involvement with that outreach and the director, Goretti Jora, continues to be a focus of their ministry. In the late 1990s, Paul was asked to be the area leader for Pioneers in Latin America. During those years, the Bentleys continued involvement in their local ministries in Bolivia. In 2006, he was asked to assume the role of regional leader for Pioneers over Russia, Europe, and the Americas. That required a lot of travel between countries for 6 years to support the work and the workers in those places. For the past 10 years, Paul has been the regional leader for the Americas, which consists of 5 areas on 2 continents. A dramatic increase in immigrants, refugees, and international students in these places has brought ministry to unreached people groups closer to home. Paul oversees Pioneers' field leaders in these areas. Paul and Lucinda have had the great privilege of watching God grow his church in Bolivia. Paul says,
"Our first students at the Quechua Bible College were 6 young men who I taught for 3 years. After keeping in touch for a while, after their graduation, I lost track of them for years. One day, I received a call from one of these students. Lucio wanted to come to Cochabamba to talk to me. I assured him I would be there, so he jumped on a truck to travel to the city of Potosi and then took an overnight bus to get to Cochabamba. For 2 hours, he shared with me about his life among the rural Quechua people of the Bolivian Andes. He spent 30-plus years working in 4 different geographical areas, evangelizing, discipling, and church planting in multiple villages in each location. Now he was living near the massive salt flat on the Bolivian high plain, working in 4 church plants. And he told me about the other 5 men who had been in his class, also evangelizing and church planting among the Quechua people in the Andes. Then he had to go. Days of travel for a 2-hour talk. He told me he just wanted to say thank you for teaching him all those years ago.
Praise God for servants like Lucio and for the promise Jesus made that he will plant his church. He is certainly doing so among the Quechuas of Bolivia. Some of us will go, most of us can give, all of us can pray. Imagine what God will continue to do among unreached people groups in Bolivia and around the world, as we at Bethany continue to support people like Paul and Lucinda Bentley.